Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1053. Good morning and welcome to a Tuesday edition. We're going to scratch our heads this morning. Math. I'm going to scratch my head because not my forte. Contracts and math. No siree. Present value. Time value of money. We were watching Jeopardy last night, and one of the clues was about the answer or question, I guess, however you word it, was quadratic equations, and it sent chills down my spine. Quadratic equations. I spent a lot of time at the tutor during those lessons during calculus. Ugh. I hate math. That's why I'm scratching my head. Shohei Ohtani, details of his contract announced last night, leaving most of us, scratching our heads, trying to figure it out. Who wins in this situation? It's kind of like the Bobby Bonilla contract. I think this is going to be discussed as much as the Bobby Bonilla contract, where is it a good move? Is it a bad move? I don't think any of us know, but the New York Mets know and Bobby Bonilla knows. I think it worked out for both of those parties, the New York Mets and Bobby Bonilla. I mean, think about it. When that contract was signed 25 years ago, $1 million. $1 million was a lot more money than what it's worth today. So we'll talk a little bit about the time value of money. And I'm surprised how many people don't understand. Well, it's genius. Ohtani's going to get paid $68 million starting in 10 years. But $68 million in 10 years, in 19 years, 20 years, is worth a lot less than what it is today. Now, would he have gotten that steep of a contract? Probably not, taking into account all of that. I'm going to try to avoid talking like that, but we can hash it out. We can solve all the world's problems today. So I did a lot of shipping yesterday. Not so much listing. Had to get caught up on shipping. Did do some, I think I listed some 2015 Topps archives. I had them sitting here. It's like, well, might as well get these listed. I listed a couple of the new pickups from Saturday's card show. Still have a stack. I need to get these up on eBay. So check out the link in the description to my eBay store. What type of banner are we going to use today? Let's you know what? Let's promote the Madison Card Show, which is coming up December 30th. Let me edit this because I've got some fun news. Let me update the table amount because we're probably going to have 135 again. Okay. Let's scroll that. There we go. Next Madison Card Show, Saturday, December 30th. Sheraton Hotel on John Nolan Drive, 135 dealer tables. We're getting close to selling out already. I've got some exciting news about this month's Madison Card Show because we have a new dealer this month. Now, they're not going to be, I don't think they'll be a regular dealer, but they will be at the December 30th show. Baseball Card Exchange will be, yes, the Baseball Card Exchange will be heading to Wisconsin. They will be set up as a dealer this month at the Madison Card Show, Saturday, December 30th. Super excited to have Baseball Card Exchange setting up at the show. Awesome guys over there. Was able to visit the old store. They moved locations about a year ago. When I visited last summer, they were getting ready to move. I think they were in the process of getting stuff set up to move. So Saturday, December 30th, Baseball Card Exchange. Who else do we have? Dell, Dime Box. I call him Dime Box Dell, but he's got dollar boxes. He's got autograph. He's got bargain boxes. I've bought from him several times at the National, at the Chicago Sports Spectacular. Dell will be set up. He has been setting up in Oak Creek. and he's coming to Madison for the first time. We've got, speaking of Oak Creek, Tony, he's coming back. He was here in October. He'll be back for the December show. Gary's got a lot of vintage. He's coming back after a month off. We've got, of course, 5 Star, one of our show sponsors. They'll be accepting submissions for SGC and PSA. You can see them in the upstairs Capitol Ballroom. Real Breaks will be set up. Tom will be here. Badger Breaks also set up. Both Real Breaks and Badger Breaks, regular dealers to the show. Let's see. My guy, Greg, I thought I was going to lose Greg this month because he was going to be on vacation, but he did confirm he will be at the show. He's got some amazing pre-war tobacco cards and all that. My guy, JR, with all the good Bowman stuff, is going to be there. Who else? Let's see. We've got the Lion's Den, of course, one of our show sponsors. He's got like a very eclectic selection. So Kyle's coming back. He hasn't set up, and I saw him at the Spectacular. It's been maybe a year since he's set up. Let's see. Who else is Paul is going to be a first-time dealer. Tom is coming back this month. He's got a lot of wax. I've got first-time. Brandon's a first-time dealer this month. Paul's a first-timer. Dell's a first-timer. Baseball Card Exchange a first-timer. Robert and Emily are both second-timers. They were first-timers in November. I think Ray's set up. Kevin's a new vendor, I believe. Jonathan, I believe, is also a first-time vendor. John French is going to be set up. He's got some awesome stuff. Spends a lot of money. So December 30th, Madison Card Show, Sheraton Hotel. Tim's with us. What's up, Tim? He said, how is that show only 135 tables? Oak Creek is 180. Madison seems bigger than Oak Creek. I think it's probably an optical illusion. It's probably an optical illusion. Because I've got, because Oak Creek's split into like what, 5 rooms, 6 rooms. So that's probably why. If I could get 180 tables, I would get it. But I don't have this. Well, I could open up that third ballroom, but it costs more money, and I can only get. They don't have enough tables. I guess I could do. Tony has vendors bring tables in, but that can be a pain. So I just cap it at 135, keeps the demand. Saturday, December 30th, Madison Card Show. Let's go to the chat. David's with us. What's up, David? Good morning. Victor, what's up? Good morning. Cubs convention around the corner. I can't wait. I had my Club 400 Christmas party on Saturday. So that kind of tides me over Christmas. We got the Couch People Christmas party this coming Saturday. And I'll be at the Kane County Fairgrounds Saturday for the St. Charles Card Show. We got Christmas, and then just a couple. Cubs convention is early. It's always Martin Luther King weekend, Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, which is early this year. So I think it's January 12th. 12th. See, I can't say 12th, 13th, and 14th for the Cubs convention. I'll be there looking forward to the Cubs convention. And then right around the corner, 6 weeks later, I'll be actually, 2 months later, because I guess I'm flying out March 12th. Damn, everything's starting on March 12th. Cubs convention is on March 12th or January 12th. Spring training leaving March 12th. So I got 2 months to tide me over. But that's a good time. College basketball is in full swing. With the conference tournaments in February. So looking forward to it. Fun time of year. Red Light 34, he says, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Thank you, Red Light 34. Philly Joe, what's up? Good morning. Jeremy's in the house. It is 12/12. Today's the 12th. Didn't even realize. I'm talking about the 12th. Didn't even realize today's December 12th. I hate the word 12th. Yes, happy Bowman Draft Day. Looking for Tom Brady's. No, I'm not looking for Tom Brady's, but everybody else is looking for Tom Brady's. Real Breaks. I think they're dropping Bowman Draft on the Uncommon app at 10 a.m. So I'm going to try to snag a spot, either Cubs or Bowman Draft paper. I am not opening any Bowman Draft this year myself, but I'll attempt to buy into a couple breaks for the Cubs. I ordered it live on Hobby Evolution last week. Heritage high number, $65 for a hobby box. You can't go wrong with that. People, oh, it's junk. Well, it's a fucking hobby box. So shove that up your ass. No, it does. It's at release, and I did get my shipping notification yesterday from Blowout. Hopefully it arrives tomorrow. I did double check. It is being sent. I've had to Vistaprint. I ordered business cards. Guess where they got sent? The fucking old house. Jesus. I get a notification. I was driving back. Notification. Oh, your package is delivered. Oh, cool. I pull up. There's no package on the doorstep. Oh, I'm sure my wife brought it in. I look, nothing on the counter. I asked, was there a box delivered? No. I'm like, huh. Says it was delivered. So I looked. Sure enough, I don't know how. I deleted the old address in Vistaprint. I don't know how, but it was sent to the old address. So I'm like, can you text the people? Can you text them? Because both of us have had multiple things. It's like I'm trying to like whitewash my old address from like every like. If I ordered something 7 years ago, I need to go through my account. Everything I've ordered from in the last 7 years, I need to go delete that damn address just in case. Oh. At least I'm not like states away. At least I'm like 2 miles away, not 2 states away. I can just drive over. I had to do that hungover on Sunday after the Bears game. And it wasn't there. Oh, yeah. So it wasn't there. So I drive and I pull up and I'm looking. And because they just leave the stuff. I've never met them. I've been to the house multiple times picking up my damn packages. So I come home empty-handed. I tell my wife, I'm like, it wasn't there. So I go back in. I get another notification. This time, the UPS notification says, or I went into my Vistaprint account and it says estimated delivery December 13th or December 15th. And I'm like, but it says it was already delivered, because I was trying to open up an item not received or whatever you do through Vistaprint. It's like, well, shit, it's still in transit. I can't do that. So I'm like, well, I'm going to order another batch, because these are the Madison Card Show with my dates for next year, the first 3 months of next year. So, because I'd like to have them for the card show this Saturday. So I don't know. We'll see which package wins. It's a race. I've got 2 in transit. So my wife texted the new people and they're like, no, nothing was here. So I went into the UPS app and it said it was delivered to a neighbor by request. But then it also said estimated delivery December 3rd. I don't know what the hell's going on. So I'm going to wait it out a couple more days. And if it doesn't arrive, I'll reach out and say, hey, I want my money back. So I don't know. Weird scenario. But I need to frickin' whitewash goddamn meandering way out of every frickin' account that I'm in. Even if I've only used it once and it was 8 years ago, 7 years ago, how many ever years ago? Donald Davis, good morning. What's happening? Rip and Rajon Rondo, mining. I don't know what that means. Good morning. Maybe that's what it means. He says, AKA morning. There you go. Steel Cards in the house. What's up? Good morning to you. DPM Sports Cards. What's happening? Ryan Sells. What's up? Good morning. I'll drink to that. Happy coffee morning. John Larson. What's up? I went to school with the John Larson. Are you from Anawan? Probably not. I think John Larson's probably a common name. John Larson. The John Larson I went to school with, I can guarantee you, is not watching my show this morning. I don't think he's into baseball cards, not into sports, but maybe he, in the last 25 years, he did. John Larson, what's up? Are you from Anawan? Tim, what's going on? Good morning. Kyle's in the house. Good morning. He has smashed the like button. Thank you. Mikey's in the house, Hall of Fame card collector. Good morning. He listed new cards at his eBay store. Awesome. We got to talk about Hall of Fame. I haven't checked out Ryan Thibodeau's tracker since we discussed it last week. because I do want to talk about it. I haven't looked yet to see who I would vote for. Not that it matters, but I like to do it for fun. How many ballots are in on the Hall of Fame? Only 14? That seems like not a lot for December 12th. Jose de Jesus Ortiz has released his ballot, and he adds a couple guys. He's voted for 10 on his ballot, including Gary Sheffield and Jimmy Rollins that he voted for the first time. Interesting. So he voted for Bobby Abreu, Carlos Beltran. I dismiss this ballot. I dismiss this ballot on the basis that he did not vote for Alex Rodriguez. So he voted for Bobby Abreu, Carlos Beltran, Adrian Beltre, Todd Helton, Andrew Jones, Joe Mauer, Jimmy Rollins, Gary Sheffield, Chase Utley, Billy Wagner. So when I scanned the stats for Chase Utley, I'm like, this guy's not a Hall of Famer. I'll have to look at it a little more deeply, but at first blush, Chase Utley, not a Hall of Famer in my book. Abreu's another guy I'll have to revisit, but in the past, he has not been a Hall. You've got to have guys that are on the borderline. If you start adding all the borderline guys in, it creates a new borderline. And then if you let those guys in, it creates another new. And then all of a sudden, everybody's in. And then that's not a Hall of Fame. It's just a Hall of baseball players. I don't want a Hall of baseball players. I want a Hall of Fame. Bobby Abreu, I have to look back. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. But I will say probably the last time I looked at Bobby Abreu's numbers was when there were like 15 guys that I thought, when a lot of the steroid guys were still on the ballot. And it's like, I think there's 15. Now, I don't think there's 10 on this 2024 ballot. I don't think there's 10. I think when I went through at first blush, that's going to be my term today. At first blush, I think I found 7 that I would put in the Hall of Fame on this ballot. Anyway, so Bobby Abreu is on this guy's ballot. Carlos Beltran, I think, is a Hall of Famer. Adrian Beltre, I think, is a Hall of Famer. Todd Helton, he's one of those borderline guys for me. Andrew Jones, he's a borderline out for me. And I think Bobby Abreu's a borderline out for me. Joe Mauer, I've got to look at his numbers. Alex Rodriguez, he did not vote for Alex Rodriguez. I think Alex Rodriguez is a Hall of Famer. I think Manny Ramirez is a Hall of Famer. Jimmy Rollins, he's a borderline no for me. Gary Sheffield is an in for me. Chase Utley is an out for me. Billy Wagner is a borderline, and Billy Wagner is one of those. Hey, speaking of Hall of Fame, damn it, I left it upstairs. I was reading an old Beckett last night from 1986, January 1986. I'm having a lot of fun reading these old Becketts. And it was talking about the Hall of Fame. And it's funny, like, these guys are in. Don Mattingly, Steve Garvey. And it's like, wow, half of these guys. In fact, there was, and I took a photo of this. I'll have to tweet this out today. I was going to tweet it out last night, but I was tweeting other things. Where's my photos? Let's see. Talking Hall of Fame. In 1986 in a Beckett. Oh, yeah. So 1986. In this quote, and it was highlighted in this article. And I quote, "It is almost an insult just enshrining Pete Rose. They should give this guy an entire hallway," end quote. Can you imagine writing that in 1986 and somebody telling you from the future, hey, by the way, it's the year 2023 and Pete Rose is not even enshrined in the Hall of Fame. Not even enshrined in the Hall of Fame. It's fun to look back at things. Where are we at? Tim says Tony is great. Love Tony. He's an awesome dude. Glad to have him back. Setting up this month. Hockey Cardboard, what's up? Ohtani equals Bonilla 2.0. I think in the sense of we're going to be discussing this this sports contract for the next 20 years. Absolutely. It seems a little different. I think this contract is structured differently than the Bonilla, but it's kind of, in essence, it's a deferred contract, deferred money. So it's kind of the same. Tim has to bring his own tables. Shane's in the house. Good morning. What's up? Jeremy says Nico gets moved to third this year and Shaw makes the big club out of spring training. That's a bold prediction. I like it. And Matt Shaw starts at second base. Mark it down. Ricketts too cheap to sign Chapman or anyone really. That's some bold prediction. Here's what I'm thinking. I don't think I'm going to dissect your comment here. Okay, Nico gets moved to third this year. I don't think that's happening. Matt Shaw makes the big club out of spring training and starts at second base. I don't think that's happening because I just don't think they're. I think he's going. Matt Shaw will be a guy to watch in 2024. I think he will make the big leagues next season, but I don't think it's going to be out of spring training. And finally, Ricketts too cheap to sign Chapman or anyone really. I disagree with that because he just paid a manager $40 million, which in general sports terms, like if you're looking at football coaches, that's chump change. But in baseball, that's ushering in a new era of paying managers in baseball. So I don't think he's too cheap to sign Chapman or anyone because he's already said, hey, we're gonna spend some money. Now, if he spends more money, there's a lot of guys still out there. I mean, Cubs Twitter is like, well, we're not going to get anybody. We're not going to spend any money. Like, there's only been one free agent signed. Ohtani is the only guy that signed. And it was 2 days ago. Christ. Now, if more of the top tier guys start falling, maybe then we get concerned. But I think, here's what I think. Nico stays where he's at, second base. Shaw starts the year at AAA and probably comes up around Memorial Day, maybe in June. But I think Shaw will be up before the All-Star break, but not out of spring training. It's going to be interesting to see where they play him, though. I don't know if he's going to be a second baseman. But I don't think he's played any third base, which is a position that's open. I don't know. Maybe he's blocked the entire year. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. But I do think at some point he'll make it to the big leagues in 2024. Here's what I think they'll sign. I think they'll sign Matt Chapman, and I think they'll sign Rhys Hoskins. Now that creates a conundrum. That's been my favorite word here lately, conundrum. That creates a conundrum because they want Christopher Morel. Well, they've been saying we're going to put him at first base, but the Cubs, whatever they say publicly is like they do the opposite. So I don't know. I think Morel's been playing third base in the whatever winter league he's playing in, Venezuela or Mexico. So it'll be interesting to see, if the Cubs if in my scenario, they sign Chapman and Hoskins, what does that do to Morel? And my fear is, because I like Morel, my fear would be, well, he's trade bait. He becomes trade bait. There's so many moving parts, right? Because I'm sure the Cubs had a plan for Ohtani. If they could sign Ohtani, okay, well, we're not going to chase this guy and this guy because we don't have money. Well, or we don't have money 10 years from now, whatever. But I think they'll get a starting pitcher, and I think that's probably going to come through trade. And now that news has come out that the Dodgers would be looking at Tyler Glass now through trade, that just bumps his market up. Now you can't just throw a couple warm bodies at Tampa and get Glass now, which I don't think you could have. A lot of Cubs fans thought so. But that drives his price up. Yamamoto hasn't really been like, it's all Yankees and Dodgers, but it was Ohtani to Toronto, book it on Friday. And then on Saturday, he signs with the Dodgers. So I don't believe anything I hear or read. Hell, Yamamoto probably signs with the Cubs. Craig Counsell. Oh, book it. He's going to New York or Cleveland. Well, he's going to the Cubs. I don't believe anything. JW, what's up? Good morning. JW says Nico stays put. I agree. If anything, I think they work Matt Shaw at third base, and kind of depending on if there's an opening there. It's nice to have the DH in the National League now for these position conundrums, but I don't like, just my personal take, I don't like calling up a young kid as a rookie and just slotting him in at DH. I don't like that. So I don't think that they would do that, but who knows? Brian, what's up? Good morning. Coffee tasting extra good today after staying up late to watch the Monday Night Football game. Oh, yeah. The Packers lost. It's always fun when the Packers lose. I don't know. How does that, what's the new draft order? What's the new draft? I did see I'm sorry for the heavy Chicago sports talk this morning, but hey, that's what we do here. Ryan Wilson, I think, was 2 hours ago, NFL draft order 2024. I took a screenshot of this too. Ryan Wilson, CBS Sports. He said, so his 2024 mock draft, pick one, the Bears, who get the number one pick from Carolina. In his mock draft, they trade the number one pick. I don't know. I didn't read the article. It just shows an image. The Bears trade the number one overall pick to New England, and the Patriots take Caleb Williams. I'm like, oh, thank God. Number two, the Bears get the Patriots' number two pick, and they draft Marvin Harrison Jr. Love it. Love it. See, this is my perfect scenario. You trade out of that number one pick, and you still get Marvin Harrison Jr. The Cardinals pick 3 and take Olu Fashanu, the tackle out of Penn State. Number 4, Washington takes quarterback Jaden Daniels, which I didn't realize he was this high in mock drafts. Dallas Turner to the Bears at number 5. He's an edge out of Alabama. I don't like this because I want them to protect Justin Fields, and I wanted them in this scenario to take Joe Alt, the tackle out of Notre Dame. So that's Ryan Wilson from CBS Sports. So the NFL draft order is now the Bears have the number 1 overall pick thanks to Carolina absolutely sucking balls this year. Thank you, Carolina. Number 2, New England. They must have a tiebreaker over Arizona. The Cardinals have the number 3 right now. Washington has the 4. Chicago Bears have the number 5 pick, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams now have a 5-8 record, including the Bears, all 5-8. I guess these have tiebreakers in here because it has the Bears at number 5. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 teams with a 6-7 record, and then another 4 teams with a 7-6 record. So with still a couple weeks left, there's still some moving and shaking that could take place. Value Box Digger says Ohtani is nowhere near Bonilla, comparing a next Babe Ruth player to a contract buyout of $5.9 million. The team couldn't afford is nowhere near a similar comparison. It absolutely is, not comparing players, not comparing the dollar amount, but it's a deferred contract, and it's absolutely very similar with how the contract is structured. Jeremy says Nico is so good, I want him to have a gold glove around the horn. Don't ruin my dream. John is from Fargo. Hey, we started watching Fargo last night. Season 5. My wife's like, there's a new show about Fargo or something. And I'm like, new show? It's been out for like 10 years. I'm like, is it a new one? But apparently season 5 just came out. Like, did they take 5 years off? I don't know. We tried to watch, I think, season 1 and just didn't get into it. I don't really get into any TV shows. It's really hard for me to pay attention. I'm sure you're shocked by that. But I'm going to tell you what, and John, you can probably agree or disagree with me. You can confirm or deny. But the accents on the TV show very much like the accents in real life in Fargo, North Dakota, which, by the way, Fargo is an awesome city. One of the most now, I haven't been to every city in the nation, so take this with a grain of salt. I've never been to the Northeast past Pittsburgh, really. I've never been to Philly. So to subtract that whole part of the country, most of the eastern seaboard I've never been to until you hit Savannah, and I've been to Florida and all their cities. I've been to a lot of random cities. But out of the cities I have been to, Fargo, very underrated, cool city. And I even went in like January and February, and I still thought it was a cool city. And they absolutely talk like that. One of the trips we went to, me and my buddy Kyle, who worked in sports information at the time, we're playing North Dakota State up there in Fargo. We're at the hotel bar, and young bartender serving us, and we're just wearing our gear, and I'm sure she's seen a lot of all the teams probably play there, so she's seen a lot of people coming in from various locales. So we're talking, and she's like, so where's everybody thinks no matter where you're at in Illinois, they're like, oh, you're from Illinois? Is that Chicago? I've lived in Wisconsin, so similar. I've lived in Wisconsin for like 10 years. And whenever I hear of a town I've never heard of, I'm like, oh, that must be Milwaukee or Green Bay. I kind of know, I'm getting familiar with the Milwaukee area now. So now it's like, oh, that must be up in Green Bay. And the more I get, and then that must be in the Northwoods. So everybody said, oh, you're from Illinois? Oh, you're from Chicago. Not really. Not really at all. And I'm like fairly in the grand scheme of the state of Illinois, where I grew up was 2.5 hours from Chicago. I mean, you can go like 7 hours south and still be in Illinois. So in the grand scheme, it's kind of close. But no, not anywhere close to Chicago. So this bartender, she's like, have you ever been to the Oprah show? And we just look at each other like, what? Because the accent was like, what? And then like, who asks that? That's a weird question. You're from Illinois. Are you from Chicago? Have you ever been to the Oprah show? No, I've never been to the Oprah show. She sounded a lot like if you ever watched Bobby's World, the mom on Bobby's World. Oh, for crying in the mud, Bobby. So she had a story. She and her mom had gone to the Oprah show, and she's like, we walked out in the street and people are honking their horns. Like, I can't remember what term she used. Like, but it was, and the people on the TV show Fargo, they sound like that. I love it. I love it. James in the house. What's up? Got into a draft break last night. Inserts look awesome. A lot of pitchers in draft. Yeah, I've seen some of the inserts of Matt Shaw. I was looking for Matt Shaw cards on eBay. I'm not going to buy any right now because they're crazy overpriced on release week. But yeah, they're like sharp looking. So I'm looking forward to getting into some Cubs breaks. Harlan in the house. Good morning. Johnny Boy Cards in the house. What's happening? Value Box Digger says Mauer is on the ballot. Take. Good morning, Flawed Thinker. Question mark. John Maybe says Jose de Jesus Ortiz is a Houston press guy. That explains his Abreu vote. Aha. There you go. Flawed Thinker says just getting into this conversation, and why can't they have a secondary Hall of Fame for the players that were really good or players that we thought were way better than they actually were? There you go. We should have our own Hall of Fames. Value Box Digger says Bauer was on the team that won 0 playoff games his whole career. Does that affect it? I think probably what affects Joe Mauer the most is he's a catcher. I think that probably affects it the most. Catchers don't get no respect. Mauer also stayed loyal to his team and didn't go elsewhere to get his ring. Does that affect his chance, his character? That is. I mean, character has a lot, because if you're a dick, if you're a dick to the writers who are voting you in and they're like, fuck you, man, you're not getting in. So I think it certainly, for a guy like Joe Mauer, certainly helps and not hurts. But then there's a-holes like Jeff Kent. He was kind of a dick. Didn't get voted in. So I think it absolutely does. Character goes a long way just in how you treat the media who are voting you in. And that's why I think Alex Rodriguez is kissing ass on Fox and why he entered the sports media, because he wants to pay it back and get enshrined. Undrafted player, what's up? Good morning. Running Buck Woodcraft, good morning. What's your favorite baseball product of 2023? That's a good question. It seems like it's always different. This year, oh man, Bowman. I think probably just Bowman, and I'm going to say regular Bowman because it's in retail, so I can afford it. Although I think I did buy what I buy? 2 hobby boxes? No, I bought 1 hobby box and 1 hobby box and 1 HTA box of regular Bowman this year. I'd say Bowman. Bowman's a fun, and it's really easy to make money on that product at release. So if you get it was that when I ordered 10 blasters and it came early? What did I order hobby of? I'm getting everything confused. But I'd say Bowman because it's at retail and I can afford it, and it's not crazy high priced, and it's a product I like. Yeah, final answer, Bowman. Mark Marinello, what's up? Good morning. Tommy Cutlets is a good story. Jersey kid coming from a Jets fan. Tommy DeVito. Flawed thinker, Washington will most likely take an offensive lineman first, hopefully, and then defensive backs. Neil Cublin in the house. What's up? He's a Patriots fan. Good morning, Neil. Good morning, Tracy. What's happening? Hall of Fame card collector. Who would you buy from 23 Bowman draft singles? Oh, man, I don't know. I don't know enough about these guys. Here, my advice would be whoever's cheapest. Because here's the thing. I don't want to spend my money on lottery tickets. I don't want to spend $200 on a Bowman Chrome auto of some 17-year-old. That's just not my jam. But if I could find $10 autos and just stash them away, I would do that. But that's also not my. If I was in this is so. Let me answer this 2 ways. I'm going to answer it from my current perspective. Running a business, I'm not buying any singles from 23 Bowman draft, unless I can get them in bulk and I know what I can resell them for. So I'm not going to completely shut off that notion, but I'm not going out looking to buy singles because that's just not how I run my business. Now, if I was doing this as a side hustle and it was just kind of like, oh, I've got some money to piss away, I would buy the guys that are cheap and just kind of, it's a penny stock or whatever. So that's my advice. Mark says, how did the players you need to prove the Ohtani contract? Boris must be losing his mind. It's in the CBA, and it's like everything's legit. Like there's no loopholes about this Ohtani contract. Like it's in there. Like in it could be $1 billion. Like there's no like cap on the deferments. So it's all been agreed upon. Everybody's like, yeah, we're cool with that. We'll see in the next CBA if they're cool with it. See if there's anything that changes. And that's what I wonder. Like when they decided to put that language in the contract, like did they all think, well, that deferring $680 million, no team would ever do that. But it's like, but also at the same time, and this is why I'm scratching my head. Like, I don't understand from either side. I don't understand it from the team side, because now you're tying up $680 million in the future in 10 years. But I can see I can counter myself with, but $680 million in 10 years, 11 through 20, is not going to be worth what it is today, right? The value of the money is not going to be $68 million today, is worth a lot more in 10 years. I looked at the inflation calendar. So $68 million today was, so going back, was 90 million. So the buying power 10 years ago, the buying power of $68 million 10 years ago is the equivalent to $90 million today. So I think a lot of people don't understand the time value of money. It's not like, well, $68 million today doesn't mean it has the same buying power 10 and 20 years from now. It's going to be worth less. So that's what, from a player standpoint, and it's interest free. So Ohtani's not even getting interest on this. It's an interest-free loan. He's playing for pennies for 10 years. We all bitch about selling something on eBay and not getting paid for 24 hours. I want my money now. Can you imagine going into the office and working and not getting paid for 10 years? I just defer it. I'm also not familiar with, I'm sure Ohtani's finance people are among the smartest finance people in the world. And I'm sure the Dodgers finance people are among the smartest finance people in the world. So basically my thought is, well, if both parties agreed to it, it must be good for both parties. They both walk away happy. But I don't understand it. But I also don't understand $68 million, $70 million a year, $700 million. I just don't understand. Undrafted player says the Ohtani Dodgers contract is $700 million, and the Dodgers unable to send some free fan pack mails to the fans who do some fan pack mail request. Value Box Seeker says, so you're comparing only the terms of the contract, not the actual specs behind the contract. Correct. Like the fact it's to have a player versus to get rid of the player. Just in terms of deferred money. Just in terms of the financial implications of money today, play today, money tomorrow. John says the accents are a little exaggerated, but spot on for the most part. We watched season episode 1 through 3. Season 5, episode 4 airs tonight. Okay, I think we watched season 5, episode 1 last night. And I believe it's an anthology, so you can just start season 5 and you don't have to watch any of the previous. So, but I wasn't paying attention, so I have no idea what happened. I looked up every once in a while and, oh, okay. Mark says, I've lived in southwestern New Jersey and northeastern New Jersey, 2 different worlds. I've lived in southern Wisconsin, western Illinois, and northwestern Illinois, and it's all the same. Just a bunch of corn and cows. Brian, what's up? Good morning. Good morning. Dan's in the house. Just inventory. I like it. Ohtani contract is hilarious. Terrible decision for Ohtani. 3% inflation average each year means he's losing that 3% of his money per year. Then think of lost potential investment money made too. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like $68 million today invested, even in a conservative portfolio, is going to be worth a lot more than $68 million in 10 years. And he's giving him an interest-free loan. Don't pay me back. I'll work for you for the next 10 years, but you only pay me 1/35 of my worth. I just don't understand. Mark, good morning. Dan says, at the next card show, I should offer to buy a table of inventory at 2% of the value and see if they defer the rest until 2034. Right. See, that's what I know. It's like, what? This doesn't make any sense. Max says staying with one team doesn't matter for anything for the Hall of Fame and says nothing about somebody's character. James says favorite baseball product this year, Topps Platinum Anniversary. A lot of color. It's because there's like 57 different colors in their rainbow now. It was. Did I buy any of that? I think I bought some of that. I think I bought a couple blasters. Oh yeah, I did. Because I pulled. What did I pull? I pulled some decent stuff out of it. It was a fun rip. Ben Baller's logo. Cosmic is really cool. I will give you that. Yeah, Cosmic is really cool. I love the designs on Cosmic. I didn't rip any Cosmic, but one of my dealers gave me like a box of Cosmic. He's like, here, I don't have enough to make a bargain box. You can just have these. Flipping Sports Guy says Ohtani contract equals new topic to fight over in the next CBA talks. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Because I think when they're creating this most recent CBA and they put this language in there, it's like, well, no team and player will come together and agree upon these terms. Like, that's my thought on it. Like, a team may say, yeah, well, absolutely. And a player's like, are you fucking crazy? Or a player's like, I'm not giving you an interest-free loan. Small owners versus owners, then owners versus players. But now that it's happened, it's like, well, the Dodgers can. Now, the thing is, so it's not completely one-sided in terms of, well, the Dodgers only have $2 million on their books. They only pay Ohtani $2 million, but in terms of the luxury tax and their, it's 46 million, I think. So it does count towards their luxury tax. So they are penalized once they will go over. Once they go over the luxury tax threshold, they are penalized because it's 46. And I saw somebody on Twitter. I don't know. I looked up his. He's not just some random egg. Do they still have eggs on Twitter? Like, oh, don't believe the egg. But his bio looked legit, and he had like 12,000 followers. It wasn't just some Johnny come lately. And it sounded smart, so I believed it. Don't believe everything, but I did. And I guess it's because it's the present value of money. So the $68 million in 10 years today is worth 48 or 44 million. I think 44 million is what that 68 million. The present value of 68 or the present value of $70 million, or maybe it's the deferment, 68 million in 2034 has the buying power today, the present value of 44 million. So 44 million goes toward that luxury tax plus the 2 million they're paying him, which comes out to be $46 million. Raphael, what's up? Good morning. Brian Bourne, what's happening? Finished listing my 1966 Philadelphia football cards. Now on to 63 Topps. There you go. Brian Bourne with some vintage. Great background listening while packing the morning's eBay order. Hockey Barn Collectibles. I think we have 2 hockey people in here this morning. Cheers. Max says, agreed with James. Platinum Anniversary is great. Andy Max says the Dodgers are banking on California falling into the ocean by then. Right. Right. Max says if they get 7.2% on the money over the next 10 years, average market return between 7 and 10%, they need to put $340 million away today. Rule of 72. Ohtani will make more in endorsements than his contract, even if he was getting paid the $70 million a year. I think the reports where he's making right now, he's making between $40 and $50 million a year on endorsements. So that's just stupid money. That's just stupid money. I mean, like, I can't imagine that. I just can't imagine that. Like, I'm trying to think in terms of like us. So, okay. So it's like if I made the same amount on YouTube ad revenue and I'm selling my eBay. This probably makes no sense, but I'm doing all my eBay work. Like I'm grinding every day, but I don't see that eBay money for 10 years but I'm making enough on YouTube ad revenue. because he's making enough. Like I just can't wrap my head around it. But it's a lot of money. It's a lot of fucking money. TD Sports Cards. It takes a strong person to push off 50 million plus a year until after you retire. No doubt. Big athletes get paid in endorsements, not their contracts. That's why the competitive winners take cuts to make the team better. Good morning, Porter. Andy Mack says 2021 Platinum Anniversary was great. Topps ruined it for me by turning it into another yearly set. Celebrating a Platinum Anniversary should be a one-time thing. I agree. 100%. Ohtani makes nearly $50 million a year in endorsements. He'll be okay. Bobby Bonilla times 50. Hall of Fame card collector says I'm frozen. Anybody else say I'm freezing? How far back am I? I'm only 6 minutes behind now. Good morning, Talking Tatis. Should have my high number in time for the couch party. Looking forward to Saturday evening. Yeah, mine should be delivered tomorrow. And so I'll save one. I'll open 3 tomorrow evening, whenever they come. Will be tomorrow evening. And I'll save one for Saturday. Talking Tatis says, like the smash button. There you go. Ohtani should have signed with the Jays, owned by a media giant in Canada, and he would have been the face of baseball across Canada. Would have led to many, many endorsements. Platinum Anniversary equals 70 years. Makes sense to recreate the same set yearly at a 70-year lag. Well, So I guess they're celebrating the platinum anniversary of each year, not the Topps. Because I think it came out because it was the platinum anniversary of Topps. That was the initial reason. It had success. Hey, we're going to keep building on this. Well, let's have a platinum anniversary every year and celebrate each year's platinum anniversary. Cooter. Now here, I know Cooter's much smarter than probably all of us with the finance talk. There may be big tax benefits for Ohtani as he can receive deferred payments outside of California. And that was my question, because California has super high income taxes. So my question, and I don't know the answer to this, but I think it was reported that it could have huge income tax implications, because based on like the 10-year deferment, since it's over 10 years, the income tax would be based on where his residence is at the time of the deferments kicking in. So if he moved to an income tax-free state, Texas, for example, he wouldn't have to pay all those taxes. My thought, though, would be there's got to be a way that California is going to fight that. And they're probably going to get a chunk of that somehow, some way. There's going to be some weird loophole, because the tax man always wins at the end. Porter says, my FI 8170 was delivered yesterday. Hopefully I won't spend too much time on the phone with their support. I will tell you, there is a bit of a learning curve at first, but once you get the settings the way you want it, smooth sailing. But yes, you probably will be on the phone with support, but hopefully it's only once. Max says, to Hockey Barn Collectibles, more money endorsements in LA, US. I don't think it's close. I think Toronto, because Toronto's like the film capital of, that's where like a lot of filming goes. Toronto's like LA Junior. But LA is also a much quicker flight to Japan. Not much quicker, but quicker than Toronto. Philly Joe says, I think people forget that Ohtani can probably get loans, investments for the deferrals. We will never know about personal financial decisions and game plan. Very true. TD Sports Card says, big trade under the radar yesterday. Dodgers got Trey Sweeney for 2 pitchers. Yeah, so the Dodgers had to clear some room on the 40-man for the Ohtani signing, and for, I think, who was it? Joe Kelly, maybe? So they had to dump some guys off their 40-man. And, fucking Dodgers. Fucking Dodgers. Fuck the Dodgers. They dumped 2 randos for Trey Sweeney. He's good. Fuck. Sorry. I said the F-bomb too many times. Trey Sweeney. He's good. I sold a bunch of Trey Sweeney yesterday. I think all to one buyer, but I did sell a lot of Trey Sweeney yesterday. Max says, when the teams are making hundreds of millions and billions when they sell, it's not stupid money, unfortunately. You always talk about having other streams of income. Should get it pretty easy. Dan says, now 87-year-old Jerry Reinsdorf taking the White Sox out of the Ohtani running makes even less sense. Why not live for the now and worry about that 680 10 years from now? There you go. Jay's ownership could have paid him in one lump sum. Lux will play shortstop this year, and next year Sweeney, Lux to second, back bets to right field after the Hayward contract is up. Mark says, let's be honest, the real winner here is the future Mrs. Ohtani, right? Shane says, have you sold any hockey from what you opened on the 1000th episode? Yeah, actually, I've sold a few cards. What I opened, like the Metal Universe. Let's see. I think I've sold. I just sold one over the weekend. Where's Low Roller Scratcher at? Because I think that's the one. I think that's the one hockey card I sold when he said you sold hockey. I sold one card for like $1.50. The eBay app sucks. Does anybody else have issues with the eBay app? It's just god awful for me. It's slow. It doesn't work half the time. Metal hockey. Yeah, so I sold Nils Amon Vancouver Canucks card over the weekend on Saturday for $1.75. So I sold 1, 2, 3, 4. I've sold 4 cards out of that blaster. A whopping $5 worth of cards. So, yeah. So I have, yes, but that was kind of a losing affair. Ohtani will be spending big on 23 draft picks going after the real GOAT. Pretty sure Ohtani will be paying some sort of income tax no matter where he winds up living, just maybe a lower rate. Well, it depends on where he goes. If he goes to Texas, if he establishes residence in Texas, or I think Florida's an income tax-free state also, then there's nothing. So, but depends on where he wants to go, and he might be like, I've got billions of dollars. I don't care about the income tax. But I don't think anybody, I don't think no matter how much money you have, you care about the taxes you pay. It doesn't matter if you're making $20,000 a year, $200,000 a year, or $200 million a year. You don't want to pay taxes. It's 2023, could be future Mr. Ohtani. Not that there's anything wrong with that. So that's what I had for today. By the way, no show tomorrow. I am going back. My niece was tragically killed in a car accident last week. So going back for services this evening, and I'm going to stay over. So I'm going to go out with some family to dinner tonight after the services and stay there, come back tomorrow, open some Topps Heritage High numbers. So no live show in the morning, no Hobby Evolution tomorrow morning, but I will go live at some point. We'll rip one box live at some point tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. So I'll probably be home around lunch tomorrow, around noon. I think UPS, I think it's delivered by UPS. Yes, I think it is. And I think they deliver around that time. So it might be an early afternoon rip. So I might go live at some point early afternoon tomorrow. So we'll do that. So no Hobby Evolution tomorrow morning. But I will go live to rip some Heritage High number. And then we'll be live again on what's tomorrow? Wednesday. Thursday morning, Friday morning. No show, no Hobby Evolution show. On Saturday, I'll be driving down to St. Charles, Illinois. I'm putting a lot of miles on my car this week. St. Charles, went to Anawan last week. Janesville to Hanover Park to Crystal Lake and back on Saturday. Anawan tomorrow or tonight. St. Charles on Saturday. where was I? Couch People Christmas Party is also Saturday. So there's no live show, no Hobby Evolution on Saturday morning, but we'll get it in prime time with the Couch People Christmas Party. That is this Saturday, 7 p.m. Central, maybe 7:30. Depends on what time I get home from the St. Charles card show this weekend. So I'll have that to talk about. Hopefully I can find some stuff. And here's the thing. Here's how this is how my luck works. When I'm not looking to buy, I find stuff. This Saturday, I'm like, I want to buy like a box, a bulk box or something to show off at the Christmas party Saturday night. And I probably won't find anything. Although Saturday's card show, there's going to be a lot of dealers in St. Charles, and odds are good that I'll find something to buy. So that's the plan. So Hobby Evolution, no Hobby Evolution tomorrow or Saturday morning, but each day we will go live. Tomorrow to break some Heritage High number, Saturday for the Couch People Christmas Party. What is the Couch People Christmas Party, you might ask? Last year we started the Couch People Christmas Party. It just started because I had hoarded so much wax and was just sitting on it for a rainy day. I would just go to like Walmart and I just like buy some random blasters, and then I just put them on a shelf and waited. And it's like, I'm just going to have like a Ripapalooza. And then I think Jenny Miller said, why don't you call it the Couch People Christmas Party? Like, oh, that's a fun name. And so it began. So we had Ethan Roberts called in last Christmas. I'm going to see if Ethan is available to have him call in. I'm going to see if Glendon Rush, former pitcher, Mets, Cubs, Brewers, I'm going to see if he's available to call in. He's a big collector as well. So that's Saturday night, Couch People Christmas Party. We just hang out. It's kind of like Hobby Evolution, but everybody calls in, much like if you watch the 1000th episode, very similar. We just hang out and talk about cards. Totally nerd out like we're kids again. That's the point. And open wax if you want to. So I'm going to save one of my Heritage High numbers. I've still got a couple of the Chrome NPB boxes that maybe I've got 3 left. Maybe I'll pick one of those up and rip one of those on Saturday. All right. So where are we at? Let's see. TD says, here's another thought. Sweeney could play third in 2 years after Muncy contract is up. Also, Lux bets and then pick up a right fielder. Flipping Sports Guy says, doesn't matter where you live, it's where the work. I have a feeling we might not. California may try to get their way. Thank you, appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, terrible, awful. Cooter says, saying the F-bomb in relation to the Dodgers is perfectly okay. The effing Dodgers was their official name in the house I grew up in. Go Giants. Thank you, Philly Joe. Appreciate it. Brian says the couch party sounds like a blast. It is. I think everybody from last year had a good time. It was a highly watched show, which I'm surprised because it went like 4.5 hours. I'm like, God, who's going to watch 4.5 hours of a bunch of dudes talking about cards? A lot of, apparently. John says, hi, at some point, can we talk about a good place to go that actually gives examples of each refractor card color so you know the name to post on eBay? Yes, I can do it right now. Cardboard does not give many visual examples. Yeah. This is annoying for Panini because I spend more time looking up what parallel it is than I do actually listing the card. Do I have anything near me? Like this Tyrese Halliburton. It's like gold prism, right? I would just say that's a gold prism, but you want to list it accurately on eBay because maybe it's not gold prism. Maybe it's gold vinyl, blah, blah, blah. All right, 2021 or 2020 Mosaic basketball. So I don't think there's visual examples. I wish there was. That's a great point. That would be, if anybody does websites, that would be a good website to do. So I go to Cardboard Connection in Beckett. And so this is how I go. I go to Cardboard Connection or Beckett. I scroll down. So I'm looking for whatever gold is. So base set. So you got mosaic parallels, choice parallels, fast break parallels, and reactive parallels. So what the hell? So yeah, so I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's any. So I'm guessing it's a mosaic parallel. So there's gold wave. I don't even see gold on here. Gold's numbered to 10. So apparently it's not the gold. So it must be a gold wave. So then I go to eBay and look up 2020. And then this is kind of my visual representation is gold. Or is it a reactive? But there's no gold reactive. Is it yellow? So I don't even know what the hell this card is. The fuck? Yeah, gold or not. So it's a great question. I don't have an answer. But yeah, I go to cardboard. It's easier for baseball, but Panini has like freaking red, white, and blue, red, blue reactive, red, green reactive, orange. It's like, Jesus, I don't know what is what. Victor says it's a great party. It was an awesome time. Brian says I have family stuff on Saturday, but I'm overdue to buy some wax to rip. Maybe I start saving for the next Couch People party. There you go. Next December 12th or whatever. I've been listening to the same podcast since 2010. 3 guys talking about random stuff for 5 hours a week. So guys talking about shiny cardboard is right down my alley. There you go. TD Sports Guard says Panini is delaying Prism football, FYI. Not surprising with the ongoing litigation. So Tyler says it's reactive yellow. Interesting. So this is reactive yellow. So I've got to go in and change the I think I put gold. This looks like gold. Fucking reactive yellow? What a stupid name. Panini, you suck. Reactive yellow. Max says yellow mosaic. So yeah, I guess it's yellow react. So let's see what. Mosaic parallel. So you've got mosaic, camo pink, Genesis, gold wave, green ice, red wave. Those are all non-serial numbered. Let's see. Choice parallels. You have peacock, fusion red and yellow. Oh, that's numbered. Fast break are all numbered. So it is reactive. So yes. So it must be the yellow reactive. Jesus H. Shane says what Tyler said. So we have realized this. It's reactive yellow. So basically, to answer John's question, you go to Cardboard Connection. You like do this, and then you just ask other people. Yellow reactive, I believe it's a retail color. You get 1 a pack. Aha. Yeah, I think all reactives are retail. I think I don't buy much basketball, baseball, or basketball, football. So, all right. So there you go. So sorry, John, I don't have a good answer for you. But thank you for the help on figuring that damn card out. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Hit up my eBay store, link in the description. Mark your calendars this Saturday, the Couch People Christmas party. If you're in the Chicago suburbs, I'll be in St. Charles, Illinois on Saturday for the show at the Kane County Fairgrounds. I'll have quarter boxes, dollar boxes, and some supplies. I'm looking, my goal is to like make a decent amount because there's a lot of travel involved. Make a decent amount, but also buy some stuff. It'd be nice if I get some good stuff with what I spent. Kind of like this past Saturday. Like I made more money than I expected, and I bought some good stuff. And I have made a few sales from what I've bought already. So that's all I had for today. So again, no Hobby Evolution tomorrow morning, but I will go live at some point tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening. And we'll break a box of Heritage High Number live here on the YouTube. So have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you tomorrow.